Hello, first grade. So, back on my read aloud, we read a story today, and it was called This School Year Will Be the Best. And I talked to you a little about how when we are reading a story, we might want to visualize things. So, when I was reading our story, I saw that there was a part in the story where it talked about bringing something to show and tell. And that example that they had was a snake. They brought a snake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my screen and show you the picture again. And we're going to go ahead and visualize what we would bring to school. So first grade, on this page, we see that it says, I'll bring my pet snake for show and tell. And so on the board, it says, today, Joe's pet, Cuddles. So his snake is named Cuddles. So remember, I want to visualize and think to myself, what would I bring to school? What would I bring for my show and tell? So remember, when we visualize, we can think about the words that we read and the illustrations. Remember, an illustration is the picture that you just saw, all right? We can use those to visualize or create a picture in our mind, all right? This strategy helps us understand and remember what we read. So when I read, I'll bring my pet snake for show and tell, I can picture the snake in my head or in my mind. And I can see it slithering maybe on the floor. I can imagine the surprise of the faces of all the kids in the room and their gasps of the teacher because they're like, oh, scared. So we're going to do two things today. Sorry, not one, but two. Two things today. We're going to go ahead and draw a picture of what we would bring. Then we're going to go back and we're going to talk about our story again and how the snake, and we're going to visualize and put it down on our paper what you think would happen with that snake if it got loose. All right? And what everybody's reactions would be. So I drew two boxes. My top box, what I'm going to put is, I'm going to put my pet, all right? Because we're going to show what we're going to show for show and tell. My pet. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my dog because I would bring in my dog, all right? And what I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead and put me on pause and draw what animal you would put. What animal would you bring to show and tell, to show all of your friends? And maybe if you want, you can do something make-believe, but don't make it too scary. Remember, we're bringing a pet, something that would be good for you to bring in for show and tell. Not too scary again. All right, so first grade, I drew this. I drew my dog. Sorry, I'm not the best artist. But it's okay. It's my drawing, and it's awesome the way that I drew it. And it's okay sometimes if our drawings are not the best. As long as we're using our imagination, it's totally fine. So my dog right here, and he's barking because he barks a lot. And you heard him in one of my other videos. But he is barking. And then I have the teacher, and she says, "Aw, so cute." And see how I put that exclamation point at the end, and I had a capital? So it brings it back to our grammar. We want to make sure before doing a sentence, we want it complete. All right. And then right here, we have one that says, look, a puppy. And this one says, yay. Awesome. So I want you to have something like this, something that you're showing the class your pet. Awesome. And it's really big first grade that we are putting detail onto our page, onto our paper. We don't want something boring, just a picture of a dog. We want something on it that's cool, all right? So I'm putting some detail on the background, all right? I'm just putting a board on the back to show that we're at school, all right? Awesome. So remember, we're going back to the beginning. We're going to talk about the snake, all right? And remember, when we visualize, we're thinking, what could that snake be doing? What could people's reactions be? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw the same type of picture, but instead of that, I'm going to draw the snake, all right? And I'm going to show what everyone's reactions will be, all right? So go ahead and pause me, and I want you to do the same thing. As you do that, on your title here, I want you to put pet snake. Pet snake. And again, if you need to pause me here so you can write it, go ahead and do that. Remember, I want you to do your own creation. I don't want it to look like mine because I want you to use your imagination and use your visualization in your head and what you want to bring down onto your paper. All right, so go ahead and draw that picture of the pet snake and what you think people's reactions in the background would be. All right, so I did my picture at the bottom, and I have the pet snake right here. And one of the people are saying, "That's so cool." This one's like, "Get it out of here." This one's like, "Oh no." And one right here is saying, "I'm scared." And this one says, "Can I have one?" So I have all these people's reactions because I visualized in my head what I thought their friends in the class, or all the classmates and the teacher would be saying when they brought in that pet snake. So remember, first grade, it's very important when we are reading stories that we visualize what is going on in our story. We use our head to visualize and to think about what is going on in our story. Awesome job today. See you later.